All right, hey guys, OFD checking in here and doing another Pagani design watch here, a little unboxing here. You guys liked the last video on these watches so much that I decided to pick one of these up. Got it for right around $80. I think these list on the Pagani website for around $99. I think they're on special right now. But anyways, I think this is the PD1662 series, which is a GMT Rolex GMT knockoff. And last week I had on the blue and the black, the Batman we'll call it. And this, I picked out a different one. Just thought it'd be kind of fun to look at it. Now, if you're into buying one of these watches at the $80 price point, you're probably not looking for a super serious watch. I'll kind of talk a little bit more about that. Now, I'm not going to do a long term yet because I'm just picking this watch up, but I'll keep it for a couple weeks. Try to wear it as much as possible so I know a little bit more about it, and then we'll eventually do like kind of a full review of the watch, talking about accuracy and everything. So I've never actually had one of these, so I've never unboxed one. So let's go ahead and take it out of here. Very tight in this sleeve, so I probably should have checked that out before I try to start the video. So there it goes, got it out of there. So inside of here, you've got kind of a textured box. It feels like leather, definitely not going to be leather, but the Pagani design logo there. A nice little shaped box for a watch at a $80, $100 price point. Probably going to be a magnet there. You've got the Pagani design there, and you've got a cleaning cloth inside, which is kind of cool. And inside here, you guys can see I picked out the green and black. What I'm going to call the Riddler. I know people are calling this the Sprite, whatever you want to call it. As far as the real release of this watch, the Rolex version, not something I'm a big fan of. I am a Rolex owner, a Sea Dweller owner, and I think it's just kind of a crazy design. I think they really just took the watch and flipped it upside down. I'm sure that the Chinese manufacturer of these watches was super excited, saying, oh, all we have to do is flip it all upside down, and we've made the same watch, just add green and black. But yeah, so I mean, kind of different looking. This one is on an oyster style bracelet, as you guys can tell. Looks kind of cool. I think that the last one I looked at was on a Jubilee, but maybe not, that Chris Marshall had. So looks like this thing is running. This is running a DG5833 Hangzhou movement. It is a GMT movement. Read stuff on the internet about these movements. I've heard where people, oh yeah, I've worn the thing for 2 years, and some people have said, yeah, I had it for a week and it stopped on me. So possible issues from what I've read with oiling and things like that. But I have read a ton of people that have had really good luck with these. There's a ton of people buying them. You can see a lot of reviews on the internet. But, as we kind of look at this thing, we'll talk a little bit more about what you can spend that $100 on in comparison to this as far as watches go. So give me a second here. Let me get the plastic off this one, and then we'll take a closer look at it. All right, so here it is. I got all the plastic off it. I mean, I can't believe I make it through getting the plastic off some of these bracelets that come from China without going absolutely mad. The way they get the plastic on there, it's on there to last. It definitely is built to last. So, but anyways, here it is. I kind of got the hand set, and I didn't mess with the GMT hand. And as you can see, as I rolled it around, it lined up really good at the 10 o'clock position as I got it to 10:10. So that's a good sign. Also, as I was winding that, I did notice that this particular model, the crown action felt pretty good. If you watch my video, I'll leave a link down below in the bottom to the Batman version. That one did seem to have a little bit of a gritty crown on it. Now, that's not my watch. I don't own it, so I don't know about the timekeeping. I think Chris had told me it was keeping really good time. But anyways, this one doesn't have the grindy crown, feels really good. So overall, the watch looks good. I think in the long run with these watches, looking at the quality of the case, the design, the finish work is actually really good. I was surprised they have the case stickers on here, kind of like if you were to buy a Rolex, they have the case stickers along the side. And you can see the polishing is done very well. The brushing is done nicely. The bracelet for a $100 watch, I mean, the bracelet itself, if you were to buy this aftermarket, would probably be $100. I think the big question at the heart of the whole thing is that Hangzhou movement. I think it's a 5833 GMT movement. One of the biggest things I've heard and read is oiling issues, that possibly, that will be the deal killer with these watches, quite possibly. Now, you can see as I swung that around, that rotor is moving very well. You can see inside of the heart of the movement, but it looks pretty good. But, we'll do a long-term review of this. Now, I bought this one because it's just goofy. I think actually I would never probably go for this GMT in real life unless it was offered to me at regular retail price, which would never happen with a aftermarket or with a Rolex these days in stainless steel. But one thing I do notice right off is that Cyclops. It's just, I don't know if it's just a reflection from it, but it just is not very clear. You can see that date is just really kind of wonky there. But actually, I'll go ahead and pause it for a second. I'll throw this thing on my 7-inch wrist, and we'll do kind of a wrist shot of it. We'll check the lume too. Why the heck not? We'll do that again in the long-term review. But case dimensions on this comes in right around 41 millimeters side to side without the crown guards, which are big, or the crown, of course. 48 lug to lug. I think I measured this around 13 millimeters of thickness last time I measured one, and 28 millimeter lug openings. But let me go ahead and throw this one on my 7-inch wrist, and then stick around. We'll do a quick lume shot. But definitely, you know, down the road here in a few weeks or something, I'll try to do a long-term review of this watch, let you know how it's running, if it's keeping good time, and maybe do some waterproof testing of this. I'm going to be spending some time at the lake here pretty soon. Maybe we'll put this on the end of a fishing line and drop it down to 100 feet or something like that and see how it lasts. It's 100 meters water resistance is what they're saying on these watches. But you know, ceramic bezel insert on this, 120 click bezel. You guys can hear that there. Nothing really fancy going on there. There is back play. It's kind of wiggly. You know, it's not super good. Ceramic bezel insert. I don't believe these are lumed. It does seem to sit nicely in the bezel itself. Nothing sticking up, nothing too sloppy. But let me go ahead and throw this on my 7-inch wrist real quick. Okay, now of course it's not sized to my 7-inch wrist, but you know, I'll get it sized. I'll throw some links out here. I do think I'm going to save this watch for a giveaway. We're coming up on 16,000 subscribers here on this slow growing channel. But I think I'll save this watch for a giveaway. But you know, in the long-term review, one of the things that I want to talk about is like investing your money. And you know, $100 watch, okay, you know, you put $100 into this watch, but there's a lot of other watches out there on the market. I have this Squalier, a Squally, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to pronounce that wrong and freak people out, but I have this watch, much more expensive watch. But you know, you buy this watch once, it is Swiss made, it does have a Swiss movement in it, you know. But I will admit that I bet you a lot of the parts on this watch come from the same place that the parts on this watch come from. The biggest difference is going to be, you know, Swiss assembly, and the fact that this movement is something that's probably a little bit questionable. But let me go ahead and dim the lights real quick, and let's see what the lume looks like on this this watch. All right, so if I remember, the Batman that we had pretty good lume on it. Like I said, I don't believe the bezel has any lume whatsoever. If I remember on the Batman one, it had like a BGW9 style lume, a blue lume. So, oh yeah, wow, that pops. Really, really nice lume on that. So I don't think there's really anything to complain about the lume on these watches. That looks super nice. You know, I don't think you really need the lume bezel on a GMT watch like this. No big deal. Looks super cool, actually. So stick around, guys. I'll do a long-term review eventually on this watch in a few weeks or so. We'll kind of wear it, talk more about it, and let me know down in the comments below what you think about Pagani design, the watches they make. What do you think about the movement? Have you guys had problems with these movements in the past? If you have, let us know down below in the comments, and we'll kind of follow up on that in the long-term review. So, guys, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up down there at the bottom. And if you've not subscribed to the OFD channel yet, please do. Please do. Thanks, guys.